This is a troubleshooting video if you are experiencing a clog in one of your barcoals on your R4. Oftentimes, this will show if one of the barcoals is not burning as brightly as the other, it's probably clogged. There's a very simple step for that. So the first thing you want to check is the regulator and the propane tank. You're going to want to turn the propane tank all the way off and also turn your regulator all the way off. And the reason being is because both the propane tank and the regulator have a safety valve in them. And if they get turned on too quickly, it trips the safety valve and it will slow the propane flow out of the line. So the sequence is to have both of them completely shut off. Then you're going to want to slowly turn on your propane tank and then slowly turn on your regulator, which is a reverse thread. Once you've run through that sequence and you've run your unit for at least 7 minutes and one barcoal is still not burning as bright as the other, I'm going to run you through the next step. You're going to want compressed air with a chuck like this on the end that has a rubber tip, or a chuck like this that also has a rubber tip. Also, it's important to note we're using at least 90 psi pressure within this compressed air. You're going to want to turn your R4 on its end. You're going to put that rubber nozzle up against the quick connect where the propane comes in. You're going to want to turn on your barcoal and give it some nice good pressure and run a few cycles. 90% of the time, that's going to clear the system. After you've ran that compressed air through the system, you're going to want to hook up your propane line and run the unit. The best way to do this is at night when you can actually see how bright the barcoals are running. Run it for at least 7 minutes and note if the barcoals are the same brightness at this point. If so, you've probably fixed the problem. If that doesn't fix the issue, I'm going to show you the next step. You're going to flip the unit on its back, and there's going to be 6 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the opposite side. You're going to remove all of those bolts, and we're going to pull this off. Once you've removed those 6 bolts, you're going to take the rubber feet off the bottom and lift it up. Take that to the side, and now you can see the bottom of the unit. You're going to look down into these windows here and see the jets coming into the barcoal system. Take note before you do all of this and make sure you know which side is burning less brightly. So that's the one that you're going to want to pull. You're going to use an 11 mil wrench. It's also really helpful to have a ratcheting wrench. And what you're going to want to do is come in here and gently start to work that jet off. As it's loose, you can get your thumb and your forefinger in through 2 of the windows and gently pull that off. And here is the jet. What you're going to do is take that jet and look at some light and look at it very closely to see if there's anything obstructing that jet. If you do notice some debris in the jet, one thing that you can do is take a Q-tip, soak it in alcohol, and gently rub it in there until all of that debris is gone. And that is how you clear the jet. You're probably going to see a little bit of anti-seize on there from the factory. Leave that in place because you don't want that seizing up. You're going to reinsert the jet. You're going to get your thumb and your forefinger in there and hand thread that jet back into the system. Then take that 11 mil wrench and gently put this back in place. Just so it's, like 1 finger snug. Final step, you're going to reinsert the bottom plate, put those 6 bolts back in, and you should be good to go. Once you've run through that sequence of clearing the jets and you've run your unit for at least 7 minutes and one barcoal is still not burning as bright as the other, feel free to contact us. We'll get you set up and we'll get it figured out.